calling it a love song.
What is up, my beautiful gemstones? It's Mary Gem and I'm back with another video, and today's video is going to be on how do you make strangers feel. Alrighty, so we've got 6 piles here today. Let's get straight into it. This is pile number 1. I'm not going to be saying anything. You guys can just use your intuition, okay? So yeah, pile number 1. Pile number 2. How do you make strangers feel? Y'all can just mute me because I'm just probably distracting you. We got pile number 3. Okay. Pile number 4. Pile number 5. And pile number 6, guys. Okay, so these are the 6 piles. Please pick as many as you guys would like. Please watch the entire video as well. I love you so motherfucking much. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next clip. So let's get into it. What is up, pile number 1? Let's get straight into your reading. So how do you make strangers feel? Honestly, I'm super excited. So the song that I got for you is Worth Saving by Jessie Reyes. Honestly, there is a bit of like a somber feel to this pile number 1. So I do kind of feel like you might be attracting a lot of kind of like low vibrational people in your life. Or I just feel like strangers always kind of end up latching themselves to you, or just living themselves even vicariously, like, you know, through you. There's this energy where it's like people see you kind of living your life, doing what you're doing, and it's kind of like it makes them feel a bit sad, or just makes them kind of feel like they missed like an opportunity to do something. So I do feel like there's always this like missed opportunity, this like I said, somber type feeling that people get whenever they're around you, but not because of what, like, you know, you're putting out in the universe. I just feel like it's more what other people are kind of putting on you. But yeah, so like I said, we got your song of the year, and then at the back we got your channel message as well. And the card that I'm using to channel your energy is the Broken Heart card, okay? So let's get straight into it. I am getting something about you're a very brave person, okay? So the first card that we got is the Aries-like intensity, okay? So definitely you could be an Aries. And then we got the breathe in lung energy. Kind of like holding things in, a lot of like secrets and secrecy and stuff like that, like mysterious type energy, pile number 1. And then as for your tarot, we've got the Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and also the Justice card. Interesting. Let's get into your song first. So it says, nowadays everything's different and I might be worth saving. Don't let me go so easy. Your mama like me. Ooh. Okay. And then your channeled message says, feels like I made a new friend. Such an unlikely friendship. Thank you for reminding me about my own journey. And then it says, told you off. So I do kind of feel like pile number 1, as for how you make strangers feel, it's definitely, I'm definitely getting the unlikely friendship, because with the Ace of Cups, I kind of feel like it came out of nowhere. You know, you got the air, then you got the earth, and it's kind of like this emotional intensity, all this intense emotions, it came out of nowhere. So I do kind of feel like when people meet you, it kind of does strike a wound in them. Maybe it's kind of like you remind people about what they need to work on, because I'm kind of seeing you bringing out like a wound up or something. You know, maybe when you meet people, you'll ask them a question that just maybe will be a bit inappropriate, or a question that just strikes a chord with them. But either way, there is this emotional connection that you form with people, and it's kind of like people feel okay telling you their secrets, telling you their problems. And I just feel like after this person has, like, the stranger has met you, after they leave, it's kind of like they're like, oh shit, like I just realized I need to start working on my broken heart. I need to start working on my throat chakra. I need to start working on this. It's like, let's say you're even at school or you're at work or something and you're busy working. I can see people kind of being like, oh shit, like I should get to work. Like I should be doing this. I mean, look at you. You're okay. It's like, it's really complicated, but I'm getting something about like shared trauma, just like shared experiences basically. So people just look at you and they're kind of like, well, if you ended up okay, that means I can be okay too. This reminds me of like when I know this one girl, so she went to the same primary school as me, and that primary school, guys, it was hectic, it was insane, it was just so much going on. And it's kind of like me and her, even though I never knew her personally, it's like we had this shared and bond experience together. Even if we weren't in the same grade, we just went to the same school. So I just feel like people, yeah, they trust you with these secrets, they trust you, even if they don't know you personally. And then with the breathe in lung energy, it's kind of like, again, holding things in. So I feel like you make people, or you make strangers feel like they need to take a breath. You make them feel like they need to stop holding everything in so much, because I just feel like you meet a lot of complicated people that don't like opening up, people that are very emotionally closed off. And when they see you kind of being emotionally vulnerable, or just being basically contradictory to what they are, because I am seeing you being a lot of like mirrors and like even opposites, because I feel like sometimes what you see in the mirror, although maybe it's the same thing that you would see in yourself, I feel like, you know, most of the time even, like what you see in yourself is completely contradictory to what other people see in you. So I am seeing like people trying to get themselves in line and trying to just get through the day, and like trying to hold things in. Like they're not trying to, you know, open up emotionally, but when they meet you, they're kind of like, I can't be doing that anymore. So I do see people kind of making choices and decisions after meeting you. Like they're like, okay, like I can't keep doing this anymore, like I need to change something in my life, because you got this like spontaneous energy with you, with the Aries like intensity, where it's like you don't shy away from intense friendships and relationships. Definitely you could be an ISTJ or like an ISFP or something like that. Like I'm definitely getting the IS energy, or even like a Scorpio, because I know so many different Scorpios that like they just, and like Capricorns, like honestly, even Libras, like they just love, you know, forming deep connections with people, even if they don't know them personally. And I'm definitely getting that from you as well. Okay, sorry about that, but yeah, so like I said, just craving that really intense and in-depth kind of like emotional vulnerability, and not shying away from intense connections and friendships, even if you know that it's going to be very short-term. So I do feel like people get this kind of euphoric feeling around you, even if they know it's not going to last a long time. So I do see people kind of wanting to carry on a conversation with you, people wanting to talk to you and just like connect with you, even if it's like, you know, something very brief, very short. And then with the Knight of Pentacles, this talks about, you know, slow and steady wins the race, just talking about taking your time, contemplating, and not really rushing into things. So I do feel like you are someone that's very calm, and I just feel like people wonder, how do you stay so put together, how do you stay so calm all the time? Like I know so many people, like my one friend, she's a Capricorn, and he's a Capricorn. Like honestly, the thing about him that I like is that when I first met him, like he was always just very quiet, but like not in like an introverted way, just in like a like all-knowing, just very quiet, very like poised type energy. So I do feel like people feel like you're very poised, you have amazing manners, and yeah, you don't rush into things, you take your time, and you're intense as well. You know, I feel like the thing about Aries and Capricorn that they have in common, it's kind of like, that they have in common, something that is really great about them is that like you could be definitely a Capricorn sun, or like an earth sign sun, and then maybe have a fire sign moon or Venus or Mercury, or Mars or something. I just feel like it combines really well, because like you can be someone that is, you know, down to earth, but still have this, you know, fire and passion inside of you as well. And then Ace of Cups people definitely feel this emotional vulnerability and even emotional maturity. I definitely feel like it's emotional maturity. And then with the Justice card, I just feel like this is the other people, the other person, the stranger, like making decisions after they have met you. So I do feel like it's kind of like, you know, meeting at a crossroad, taking the path less taken or whatever. Like I'm getting that energy as well. I'm even getting like, what's her name, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. Like I'll put a picture of you, like I'm getting that energy as well. But yeah guys, that is what I got for pile number 1. I really hope the video resonated. I love you loads, and let's get into the next one. What is up, pile number 2? Let's get straight into your reading. So how do you make strangers feel alrighty? The song that I got for you is I Remember by Rod Wave, and then at the back I got your channel message as well. The card that I'm using to channel your energy is the 5 of Cups, okay? The 5 of Hearts. let's get straight into it. So immediately I'm getting something about like nostalgic feeling. I'm seeing something about like strangers are never really strangers. They're just people with potential to like basically connect to. So I do feel like you might see the same people every single day, so it's kind of like it's hard to do this video, it's hard to look at this video because you're just around a lot of familiar faces. Maybe you stay in a very small neighborhood, or it's kind of like you don't have the opportunity to always meet new people. And I do feel like when you do kind of meet strangers, people that you've never met before, people you don't know, no mutual friends, no nothing, it's kind of like people see this like potential and they kind of feel like they've known you somehow, or I just feel like there's always something that they find in common with you, because I can see you maybe wearing a pin or something, I can see you kind of doing something, wearing something, and people being a bit like, oh, like I do that too, like I'm always like that, you know. Let's say you're busy standing in a line and you're someone that gets very fidgety, very agitated, so you're always like maybe playing with your hands, or you're always playing with your feet or something. Like you need to keep yourself busy in a crowd, or like when you're busy waiting for something. I see people looking at you and being like, I do that too. So there is kind of like this, oh, I see you type energy as well. I'll put a picture of like Beatrice Horseman. For some reason, like I'm getting her, even like the whole BoJack cast as well. So anyways, let's get straight into it. So the first card that we got is the did it myself. Okay, so you already were getting like, you know, independent energy. We got the flustered card. I was feeling that way. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous, like I've never done this before. So yeah, I feel like you connect with a lot of like people that are flustered, very nervous. But I'm definitely getting extroverted people and people that like make impressions on you as well. So maybe you enjoy like meeting new people, you enjoy kind of like making those connections, and it's really awesome, guys. So the first card that we got is the Five of Pentacles. So already we got synchronicities with the Five of Cups and the Five of Pentacles. We got so much fives, oh my gosh. We got the Three of Wands, and then we got the Five of Cups. So again, being in like, what's the word, emphasize or whatever, talking about like change and disappointment, and yeah, being disappointed about people that you really care about. But what I'm getting is that people understand you. I feel like, yeah, strangers feel very understood in your presence. They understand kind of why you would do something. Like, let's say you were next in line, but then somebody cut in front of you, and then I can see you being like, hey, excuse me, I was supposed to be in front, or like I was supposed to actually, it's my turn now, like can you please go stand behind me? And then you know, I can see people being like, oh yeah, like I would have done the same thing. Like, no, seriously, that person was in the wrong, like you were supposed to go next, like it's your turn now. I'm just seeing people low-key like fighting for you and being on your side, even when like they don't know what's happening. You could even be on like a phone call having a conversation with a friend, and maybe you're busy telling them something like, oh my gosh, my boyfriend cheated on me and I left them, like can you believe that? And I can see strangers kind of listening in on your conversation and being like, oh yeah, like I would have done the same thing, like, you know, serves them right. Like I'm just getting a lot of like, you know, karmic ties and like a lot of karma around your pal. But yeah, let's get into your song. So it says, it was trials and tribulations on the road to chasing that paper. So many faces, been so many places. Whoa, okay. And then your channeled message says, very nostalgic. You remind me of my favorite movies. You have very weird mannerisms. I knew it. Like I just feel like you have so many distinctive mannerisms, and like, like I could already tell. And then it says whistling, barking, loud breather, environmentalist. So pile number 2, you could definitely be someone that like when you're in public you love whistling, or like you're always humming a different tune or like a song or something. And I just feel like people are like, oh, like I know that song, I like that song. Or if you're busy whistling, maybe like you know how to whistle, like, you know, in an amazing way, that you're just like, like I can't whistle at all, guys, but like I can just see you whistling in like a beautiful tone, and people being a bit like flustered and thinking, oh my gosh, like you're so good at this, like what the heck, what are you doing here, like are you talented, are you a singer, like what's happening? You also could be definitely a loud breather, but again, I'm getting something about having very weird mannerisms. And I even wrote barking there because maybe you're someone that when you're in public, like you like making weird noises, like you like barking at people, or like I just kind of feel like yeah, people definitely remember you, and it's kind of funny, but it's kind of like sweet and everything, you know. But yeah, like I said with the flaccid card, I just feel like when you start doing that weird mannerism thing, I feel like people are like, oh, what's happening? But like, it's not like they're judging you by any means. I just think that they're a bit like taken aback by when you speak or when you talk or something. So if somebody hears you, like I said, talking like maybe to your friend on the phone or something, and they hear you speak or something, they're kind of like, oh, so that's how you sound. Like, oh, I would not imagine you to sound like that, or I can't imagine that's happening to you. Like, I just see people relating to your story and relating to your background as well. And then with the Did It Myself card, people feel very independent. They feel like they're in control. I just feel like people want to kind of strike up a conversation with you because they feel like you know what you're talking about. They feel like you would agree with them in a way. Even it's just this like understanding. Like, I don't even know how to explain it properly, guys. It's kind of like when you meet someone, a stranger, and you just know that they would be a nice friend. You just know that they would be like a good person to talk to, a cool and chilled person. It's kind of like that's how they feel around you as well. Again, with the Five of Cups, talking about this disappointment, talking about change, and yeah, an environmentalist, someone that's very caring, someone that cares about, you know, small kids. I even feel like if you have a child or something, people think that your child's really attractive, really beautiful. They think that you look just like, you know, your child looks just like you. I'm seeing that as well. And then with the Five of Pentacles, it talks about like a shitty partner. So I feel like if you ever have conversations or arguments with your partner in public, I do see people kind of like wanting to take your side, wanting to say, hey, I'm on your side, I see you, everything's going to be okay. So if you ever arguing with someone, I just feel like people do listen in on your conversations, or people like being nosy, like they like getting in your business, like they like knowing what's happening. Yeah, like I'm just seeing people like reading you, analyzing you, listening to you, even when you aren't paying attention. So definitely keep note of that. And then with the Three of Wands, again, I just feel like people want to talk to you. They want to ask you, hey, is everything okay? Or like they want to ask you, what's that song you're busy humming? Or like what's that saying on your t-shirt? Maybe you wear a lot of t-shirts that have like a lot of words on them, and I can see people saying like, oh, what does that say? Or if you have a lot of tattoos, I can see people like wanting to ask you, or what does that tattoo meaning have? Like, why is it important to you? And people wanting to know your morals, what's important to you, and like wanting to know just more about you basically. But then with the Five of Cups, I do feel like something about like you turning people down. So I do feel like when people approach you in public, maybe you don't like talking to people, you don't like talking to strangers, because I am seeing people just feeling like, oh, like I thought we could have been friends, but like you're not really talking to me, or you seem very uninterested. So I just feel like people don't feel very welcome in your energy. They feel like you're kind of like, listen, I'm just doing my groceries, I'm just doing what I need to do, like I'm independent, like don't talk to me, like I'm kind of really busy right now. So there is a bit of that energy as well. But overall, I do think people like your vibe. It's just like they feel a bit like, oh, like you aren't really interested in what they have to say. And it kind of puts the onus on that person feeling like, oh, maybe I did something wrong, you know, more so than you did anything wrong. But yeah, guys, that is what I got for pile number 2. I really hope the video resonated. I love you loads, and let's get into the next one. What is up, on with you? Let's get straight into your reading. So how do you make strangers feel? Alrighty, so the song that I got for you is Saturday Nights by Khalid, and then at the back I have your channeled message as well. And the card that I'm using to channel your energy is the regret card. Like, I'm definitely getting a lot of like remorse, a lot of kind of like, oh my gosh, like people taking things so personally. Honestly, I do feel like there's a lot of like miscommunication when it comes to you and your encounters with strangers, people you've never met before. I just feel like people feel like yeah, regret. And I feel like I can see people that are maybe older than you kind of feeling like really old. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Let's say you're at the mall and you see a bunch of teenagers, or you see a bunch of like middle schoolers or whatever, and I just feel like they're like, oh damn, like I remember what it was like when I was younger. Like, I just feel like people feel kind of like they feel like it's like a stab in the heart, where it's like, damn, like I'm so old. Like, I just feel like they feel so much more emphasized. They just feel more old just being in your presence, because you seem to have a very like yeah, just like a very youthful energy about you. And I just feel like people that maybe aren't as young as you feel like even more young. Maybe you're busy talking about like, oh my gosh, did you see that new TikTok? Like, it's so cool. And then I can see them thinking, TikTok, like, what is this? I don't even know what you're busy talking about. Or you could be someone that's very intelligent and you're always talking about maybe computers or like science or something, and I can just see people thinking like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm so lost. So where do I even start? Like, I have no idea what you're doing. So I just feel like people feel a bit like isolated from you, or they just feel kind of like I can't relate to you, bro. Like, I'm old. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And again, guys, no tea, no shade, okay? I felt that way sometimes as well. So let's get straight into it. The first card that we got is the Capricorn like skin. So I do feel like people want to compliment you on your skin. They think you're very attractive, and yeah, they just feel like you look very youthful, you look like you take care of yourself, and they want to know what's your secret, bro, for real. Because you even could be someone that's like maybe even older, because I'm getting something about being older and like age playing a part in this. So if you meet someone that's older than you, I feel like they feel like very isolated. They feel kind of like, oh damn, like I feel so old right now. And if you meet someone younger than you, they're kind of like, damn, you're so attractive. And then when they find out your age, they're kind of like, oh shit, like I had no idea you were that old. But like, not in a bad way, guys, for real. Like, I'm really not like trying to diss you at all. I just feel like you don't look your age, and the way that you talk and the things you talk about is kind of like, it's really intense, it's very complicated, and people don't always understand what you're talking about, basically. So the next card that we got is Monsters Inc. Okay, then I wrote UM. I'm not sure what UM means. Maybe those are your initials or something, but I'll put a picture of like Monsters Inc. over here, like, you know, Monsters University. So let's see your tarot cards. We got the Empress card. Immediately I was getting that. I feel like you're very attractive. We got the Five of Wands, and then we also got the Temperance card. So we do got two fire sign energy, and then we got also two earth sign placements as well. So you could be a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, as well as an Aries. Definitely Aries, bro, period. Aries, Leo, or Sag, 1000%. But let's get into your song first. So it says, family feud, say your mom confused. I guess there's certain dreams that you got to keep, working late at a job you hate. Like, I'm just getting something about strangers meeting you because of work. Maybe you work in a mall, or you work with customers and like customer service and everything. And I just feel like strangers kind of feel like you're just doing your job, and you're kind of just like, you're good at what you do, basically. Like, I don't even know how to explain it properly, but I'm getting that energy, basically. And then your channel message says, I felt hurt when I first met you. Maybe it's because you didn't wave back at me, or because I was too shy. You never notice. Ooh, interesting, part number 3. So with the Monsters Inc. vibe, I'm definitely getting something about like people being very curious, very invested about you, and thinking you're very attractive, and people wanting to approach you. But maybe like you're so focused on what you're busy doing that you don't even notice when people are flirting with you. You don't notice when people are like, you know, checking you out. I just feel like there's this thing where it's like, you don't notice when people are busy flirting with you, for real. Like, I'm just getting people feeling very butthurt, people feeling like, oh my gosh, like they didn't even look at me, like I tried to look so nice for them. Like, I'm seeing maybe like, especially if you do work, you know, more like, let's say you're a coffee barista, or like you work, like I said, in customer service. I can see strangers coming in, like maybe you have a regular customer, and I can see them kind of like trying to dress up nice, trying to look nice for you, and then you don't even compliment them, you don't even say anything. You're kind of just like, what do you want? Okay, that's your order, here we go. I just feel like yeah, people just feel like you didn't notice them. They feel like you didn't talk to them, or they were like, oh my gosh, don't you like me? Why didn't you smile back at me? So because I feel like you're a very friendly person by all means, I just feel like sometimes you don't always smile in public. Maybe you have a mask on, or it's just like you have like a bit of like a resting bitch face, and I just feel like people are like, oh my gosh, like do you hate me? Like what's going on? Why aren't you like greeting me? Like that type of energy. And like I said about looking very young, and then people having regret, and then with the Empress card, just like you being very attractive, very beautiful, very sensual, and people really admiring you, how you look, how you dress. I just feel like people find you so sexually attractive, you know, romantically attractive, and people wanting to date you, wanting to ask you out and stuff like that, but you're not really giving the signs that you're basically interested. So yeah, you never notice. And I am getting something about people being really shy to kind of be open and upfront with you. I see people not wanting to hurt your feelings. And then with the Five of Wands, it starts to talk about, conflict. So I do feel like people get a bit frustrated with you because you don't pay attention to them, or I just feel like, yeah, like I'm just getting something about like people wonder, like when you're busy talking to them, like why do you sometimes wonder, or for like maybe when somebody's busy telling you a story, like you will just zone out completely, and then of course you didn't mean it, like you didn't mean to zone out, like it just happened. And then I can see people being like, oh my gosh, like am I boring, or like what's going on, like why aren't you paying attention to me? Like this definitely might be a Leo, guys, but I'm just getting about somebody's definitely interested in you. And I'll make another video on who has a crush on you, because I definitely feel like it's one of your customers, or it's a stranger, but like someone that you've kind of met regularly, but like you've never spoken to them basically. So, and sorry about saying basically the whole time, sorry. But yeah, and then we also got the Temperance card. So I just feel like it all balances out, because I feel like you're a friendly person, you do smile at strangers, you're always greeting strangers, but I do feel like sometimes you don't greet everybody, you don't always smile at everybody, and like it's not a personal thing, like you're not being rude, you're just like, okay, I'm not gonna smile at everyone that I meet, like I'm not gonna do that. And I just feel like the people that you don't smile at, they're kind of like, oh my, like why didn't you smile at me, you smiled at that person, like why didn't you wave at me? So yeah, people taking things very personally, and people wondering basically what are you thinking about. And yeah, that's what I'm basically getting. And maybe you don't like your job. But yeah, that is what I got for pile number 3. I really hope the video resonated. I love you loads, and let's get into the next one. What is a pile number 4? This gets straight into your reading. So how do you make strangers feel? Alrighty, so the song that I got for you is Exist by Phoebe Ryan. And then at the back, I got your channeled message as well. The card that I'm using to channel your energy is the Five of Wands, or the Five of Clubs, okay? So, immediately I am getting something about like people love observing you, they love analyzing you, psychoanalyzing you. I even felt like people like following your lead as well. Like maybe you're someone that's very extroverted, and you like asking questions. Like I'm seeing you being in a classroom maybe, or a classroom setting, classroom environment. It even could be in a workplace. And I just feel like people kind of rely on you to maybe ask the professor, ask the teacher a question, because they wouldn't do it themselves. Like I definitely know some people like that. Like I remember when I was at school one time, like everybody was always quiet in class, but there was always this one kid, and they would always ask the teacher questions, they would always just basically lead the class. So I'm getting something about people relying on you, and people just feeling like they're just gonna follow your lead basically. So yeah, like this reminds me even of this social experiment that I watched on YouTube. It was about people facing the wrong way in an elevator. So normally if you're in an elevator, you would face the door so you can like walk out. But like in this social experiment, like I'll put a picture over here. Basically what they did was they just faced the other way. Like they faced the other way, and then like they waited to see how long people would take to follow the lead, or follow what everyone else is doing. And yeah, I don't even know what that was coming up, but I'm just getting something about you, like people relying on you, people following you, people observing you, watching you, and yeah, even people checking you out, like checking out your booty, checking out your ass, checking out your boobs, and like all that stuff. So the first card that we got is the Cancer, like body, body yada yada, okay, that. And then we got the LGBTQIP2SAA, okay, so that's the LGBTQ plus community. So people could, when they first see, maybe they're kind of like, oh, do you listen to Girl in Red? Oh, are you, I'm getting that energy. So I do feel like people wonder about your sexual orientation, or like they wonder like, are you a part of the LGBTQ plus? Definitely that is coming up, okay. And then we got the Page of Pentacles, the Lovers card, and also the Ten of Pentacles. So we got a lot of earth sign energy. We got water, and then we got fire, and we also got the Gemini. That is really interesting. But let's get into your song. It says, I'll kiss you in a quieter room, and again the Lovers card, right? here in this crowded room. I just want them to see it, hardly believe it. So I am getting something about people having disbelief kind of like in you and how you look, because I really feel like you're really attractive, or you just seem like someone that's just like, damn, like, did you come out of heaven? Like, did it hurt when you fell out of heaven? Like, I'm getting corny pickup lines and like all that stuff, guys. So your channel message says, you are so beautiful, I just want to observe you. Sorry for staring. Your hair, I love it. And your aura. Don't make assumptions though. So I'm getting something about people definitely making assumptions about you, or you making assumptions about other people. Because I'm seeing a lot of like pretentious people, or I'm seeing people kind of summing you up, or I can kind of see you maybe enjoying summing people up, and like I feel like you're very extroverted, and sometimes you will talk to other people, like maybe you'll say, hey, do you listen to Girl in a Raid? Or like you'll ask someone a question like, hey, you must be a Slytherin, or like you must be a Gemini, you must be a Virgo, and then people being like, excuse me, no, I'm not a Virgo, like, can you stop making assumptions about me? So I'm seeing something about people saying like, listen here, you are attractive, but still like, don't make assumptions about me, basically, you know. So I'm seeing people kind of like judging you based on your appearance, because maybe they think that because you're attractive that you aren't a nice person, but like by no means is that true at all. Like, it really is not, guys. But yeah, so like I said, you could definitely be a part of the LGBTQ plus community. And then people checking out your body, people feel like you're very attractive. They definitely love your body, love your hair, they love your physical features a lot. I just feel like if you have an afro, like a natural afro, I can see people like wanting to approach you and ask you, oh my gosh, like, how'd you do your hair? I love it so much. What are your products? I can see people wanting to ask you questions about that as well, like your skincare routine, your hair care routine, or people wanting to ask you about where you got that top, where you got those jeans, where you got those shoes. And then with the 5 of Clubs, this talks about a change in jobs, talks about a change in scenery, because you seem like someone that likes, you know, art history and like artistic things, and yeah, just like history. Like, I'm getting art history specifically, like the Renaissance and like olden days and that type of things. And then with the Page of Pentacles, I am seeing like people maybe following you on social media, and maybe it's like they see you in person and they're kind of like, oh, should I approach you, should I talk to you? I mean, I don't really know you, but I follow you, is that weird? So I feel like people feel a bit uncomfortable sometimes around you, but like not because you did anything, just because they're not really sure if they should talk to you. Yeah, like I just feel like people like stalking you, or I just feel people like following you around, people like, yeah, following you metaphorically and following you like physically, like in a mall or in a store or something. Like, I hope you're safe, hope you're okay. And then we got the Lovers card. So this does talk about, you know, mirroring energy. So I just feel like whatever you do, people always end up doing it as well. Like, if you are in the mall and let's say you're busy buying gummy worms, I can see a stranger being like, oh my gosh, that person bought gummy worms, I'm gonna go buy gummy worms as well. Like, I just feel like whatever you do, people always end up following your lead and doing whatever you're doing. And then with the 10 of Pentacles, this talks about being financially abundant, talks about working hard, and basically making it out after an economic decline. So I do feel like you come off very like wealthy, you come off kind of like you're someone that knows what you're doing, you come off like a Capricorn, like even a Cancer, because Cancers, I mean, a lot of Cancers that I know, they are really serious about their money, they're very serious about, you know, their career. And I feel like people don't talk about how Cancers are just really, yeah, they love their career, they love doing all that stuff as well. So there is that vibe as well about like, sorry, this is my knee, guys. Oh yeah, you can't even see it, but yeah. So I'm getting something about people just talking about, oh, like you look like you make a lot of money, or like what you do for a living, and people being interested in you and like how much money you make and how you dress and how you accessorize yourself and your hair. And yeah, wanting to ask you questions. Like, even if, let's say you have a dog and you always walk your dog, I can see people wanting to say, oh my gosh, I love your dog, what type of breed is your dog, or something. Or like people wanting to ask you, what's your ethnicity, like, I love your skin. Or even something about like you speaking a different language and people asking, what language do you speak, like, that's so cool. and people wondering where do you live. So I definitely feel like pile number 4, you have a few stalkers out there, and I'm going to making a video. Actually, I think the next video I'm going to be making is who is busy stalking you, because pile 4, I feel like you definitely got some stalkers out there. Please be safe, and comment down below if you guys chose pile number 4 as well. So that is what I got for your reading. I really hope it resonated, and I will see you in the next one. What is up, pile number 5? Let's get straight into your reading. So how do you make strangers feel alrighty? Oh my gosh, I just realized that your song is nowhere to be seen. I need to find your song. Give me. Okay, I found your song. So the song that I'm busy using for pile number 5 is Long Nights by Black. Okay, and then at the back I got your channel message as well. And the card that I'm using is the Cancer, water sign, and then I also wrote air signs. So okay, how do you make strangers feel alrighty? I'm getting something about like people missing their old you, or people feeling very intimidated by you. But it kind of felt like yeah, I feel like sometimes people feel like they can't really recognize you. So I do feel like even people that you do know very well, it's like you've changed so much. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with changing. I feel like you don't have to apologize to anybody. You don't have to, period. But I'm seeing people kind of like wanting to put you in a box. So I just feel like you know, your style and your personality doesn't really maybe it doesn't really mix with like where you stay, you know. Like I stay in South Africa, maybe you could be someone that's like alternative or something. Like I'm not alternative or anything, but I know some of my friends that are, and like it's hard for them to kind of find clothes that can just express them, because you don't really get that here, you know, where I stay. Or maybe it's like you're from a small town and like you want to be an artist, but it's really hard because just like of like physical constraints and like society pressures, and like not having the right target audience because there's nobody that is interested in the same thing as you, and like all of that jazz. But let's get straight into it. So the first card that we got is the eye. So it says eye contact, gazing, look away and stare. Hope you can see properly. Okay, and then the second card that we got is dreams are good. Okay, so I do feel like you kind of remind people that it's okay to dream. And I just feel like, you know, when people or strangers first meet you, like definitely they're going to be staring at you, they're going to be looking at you. And I feel like some people will be like, I don't really vibe with that, but then other people will be like, I'm glad that they're basically, you know, chasing their dreams. Okay, and then as for your tarot card, we got the Tower card, 9 of Wands, and the 9 of Cups. So we can already see the synchronicities with the 9 and the 9. You know, 9 dreams and everything. It talks about karma. It talks about like complexities, feeling misunderstood, and like it talks about accumulating wealth and chasing after your goals. So I definitely do feel like strangers kind of feel like the sense of like goal orientatedness in your energy. I'm definitely getting either ENFP or ENTP, ENFJ, but yeah, like EN something, definitely. So your song says, oh, there's another airplane. So your song says, I got a good side, got a bad side, do you want to find out, rolling through the city hoping for a fuck around. Okay, and then your channel message says, a little uneasy, I kept my distance because you look like you were about to beat me up or bully me. I like your smile, I'm so sorry. That's so interesting, pile number 5. Oh my gosh, like for some reason I'm not even like shocked by this message. With the 9 of Wands and the Tower card and everything, this does talk about, you know, something taking you by surprise. So I definitely do feel like strangers are very surprised by your demeanor and how you carry yourself, what you talk about, what you believe. I just feel like you got this kind of new sense of what you like and what you like doing, what you believe in and everything. And I just feel like when it comes to like society, when it comes to, like I said, where you live or where you come from, it's kind of like that's not the norm. So I definitely do see you like basically going on your own path, especially with the Tower card. You know, I see you kind of trying to escape, you know, the small town life. And I'm not trying to stereotype at all, but it's just a vibe where it's like I just feel like what you want and your goals don't always align with like what is around you, basically. So yeah, I do feel like with like the Tower card and everything and the 9 of Wands, people definitely do get the sense of like being scared around you, being a bit uneasy, or like them thinking that like you're gonna freaking beat them up, bro, for real. Or I just feel like strangers are like a bit scared that maybe you're like mean or something. Or I just feel like people try to basically stay out of your way. Even with the dreams are good cards, you know, I feel like people maybe don't want to invest in your your investments or invest in your business ideas because they're afraid that it's not going to do well, or they're afraid of this, they're afraid of that. They're afraid of also associating with you because of what people will say. I just feel like people are always so conscious about how they will be perceived, so they won't like talk to you and that type of things as well. But I definitely do feel like strangers find you so interesting, but I do feel like if you are out in public and people don't usually, you know, come up to you and like want to be your friend, I really do feel like it's just because of like them feeling pressure from the outside. I don't think it has anything to do with basically you and who you are as a person. But yeah, I definitely do feel like people like looking at you. They find you very interesting, like I said. I see people even taking pictures of you, like how you dress. Like I'm definitely seeing people taking pictures of you 1000%. And then with the air sign or water sign, I feel like this talks about their whole entire relationship together. It's kind of like this banterish energy. So I do feel like people see you as being someone that has kind of like a bit of like a mouth, you know what I mean, where it's like you can be mean sometimes, or you just come off kind of like a bit mean, or you make strangers feel like you'd probably like, I don't know, be rude to them or something. But I think it's all in fun and games. I just feel like you've got this very intense personality where it's kind of like, you know, those friends will like hit you for fun, but like not in like a bad way, like, you know, where it's like, oh my gosh, stop, like you're so funny. But like sometimes it's like, ouch fam, like that actually low-key hurt, you know what I mean? Like I feel like we all have one of those friends. I just get the energy where it's kind of like people are a bit afraid of you. Maybe it's because you seem really bold, you seem kind of like really muscular, or you just seem really strong. And definitely people are judging you by your appearance when it's like so messed up. But I do feel like with the Nine of Cups, is kind of like you, when you smile, I feel like people are kind of like, damn, like I love your smile and I love that about you, definitely. Especially with the Nine of Cups, because it talks about wish fulfillment. It talks about going after what you want and like feeling understood, and like just like smiling, being happy with what you have, and like being grateful, being honest, and all like the nice things that you get from being in a friendship with someone. So I do feel like people want to be your friend when they first meet you, but they're just afraid that like you wouldn't want that back, basically. Like you remind me of Carol and Tuesday. I'll put a picture over here, like it's an anime, like I don't even know why, but I'm thinking about them. Like they're so, like it's such an unlikely friendship, but I'm getting that for some reason. So yeah, with the Tower card, I do feel like I said, I just feel like you kind of stand out in a crowd and people are just like, whoa, like who are you, what is this, like you're so different and everything. And they're saying basically, you know, if people wouldn't judge them for talking to you, they definitely would talk to you. And then again with the Nine of Wands, it talks about being afraid to get hurt. So I do just feel like people are afraid of repercussions from talking to you and being associated with you as well. That's really interesting, pile number 5. Let me know if the video resonated, and if it did, like tell me more down below in the comments. I'm here for you, sending love and light. And yeah, let's get into the next one. What is up, pile number 6? Let's get straight into your reading. So how do you make strangers feel alrighty? So the song that I got for you is Bliss City by Odie, and then at the back I got your channel message as well, and the card that I'm using to channel your energy is the Dates card. Okay, for some reason, I don't even know why, but I'm just feeling a lot of like, I always say the word nostalgic, but it's just like this energy where it's like somebody's busy playing your favorite song and you just can't help but sing. So I do feel like when strangers meet you for the first time, it's kind of like a breath of fresh air. But you know, in the same breath, I am getting something about like people not really being able to tell who you are, people just feeling like you're so mysterious, and like them wondering basically, are you gonna like low-key ruin their life or something? But like not in a bad way, guys. I just feel like when strangers meet you for the first time, it's kind of like they're wondering, okay, who are you? It's like, let's say you're the new person in class, like, you know, it's your first day or whatever. I just feel like people are looking at you and they're thinking, okay, so you dress kind of like you're like a chill person, but you're wearing name brands. Maybe you got some money, maybe you work for your money. Like I just feel like people, when they meet you for the first time, it's like they're trying to figure out basically how can they group you, how can they categorize you, who are you as a person? Are you the funny person? Are you the jock person? Are you this? Are you that? I just feel like people like wondering basically what your story is. And even with the dates card, this does talk about, you know, people wanting to flirt with you. So I kind of feel like when strangers meet you, like they look at your hands to see if you have a ring on, to like see if you're in a relationship, or like they will watch you for a while to see maybe if you call your boyfriend, or if you're at the mall, like people will wait to see if you if you're waiting with friends, or if you're waiting for your partner or something. Like I'm just seeing stuff about people basically taking a step back and just letting you do your thing, and then you know, with the information that they gather from you, that's how they'll decide later how they move forward. But yeah, so the first card that we got is look at me, walk me to my door. And pile number 6, you guys literally got like the most cards. So yeah, so we got the Gemini like enthusiasm, and then we got the Taurus like energy. Gosh, bro, like literally Gemini and Taurus together are like the best cards. And then the look at me, this card, this is a Leo. So honestly, all these cards go pretty well together, which I love a lot. So I'm seeing something about like best friends. Like I'm seeing something about your best friend coming up in this reading and saying, oh my word, I remember the first time I met you, like it was so weird, so awkward, like I wanted to be your best friend, but I didn't want you to think I was hitting on you, like I just wanted to be your friend. Like I'm hearing that coming up as well. So let's see, we got the 3 of Pentacles, the Moon card, and also the Page of Wands. I love the Moon card, like I really do. I feel like I'm so happy that this came up in the reading, and I feel like it makes a lot of sense as well. And there's another airplane. Okay, sorry about that, but yeah, with the Moon card, I was just basically saying, and the whole best friend thing, it's kind of like people finally saying how they felt when they first met you. It's like a flashback or something. So I do feel like the people that are coming up in this reading about how strangers feel when they first meet you, I feel like it's more like people that you know now very, very well. And now it's like how they first felt when they first met you. Like they were kind of wondering, like, who is this mysterious person? Like, what's the deal? Like, why are they here? What are they doing? Like that type of energy. But let's get into your song, guys. Okay, so it says, I don't know yet. Who are you? I don't know yet. Here we go again. Woke up bitter and need a little liquor tonight. So people might have thought that you were like a bit of like a party person, or someone that likes having fun, getting into trouble, like a bit of like a mischievous energy. And then your channel message says, felt like I couldn't read you, blank expression, literally no idea who you were, but you seemed important in a rush, kind of like a wildfire. And then I drew a heart. Oh, that's so freaking sweet. So yeah, pile number 6, huh? Okay. So with the Taurus like energy, this talks about just having this really like magnetic aura and energy about you. It's kind of like the thing where it's like it's basically irreplaceable and it stays with you forever. You know those people that you just meet and it's like you just cannot forget them. It doesn't matter how long you've known them. It's just like you cannot forget how it felt just being with them. It's like a feeling, like it's not even like tangible, like it's just a feeling. So I do feel like when strangers meet you for the first time, they're kind of like, oh wow, like I like your aura, like I like this, like I don't know, like I just feel like a connection towards you. So I do feel like people kind of just like giving you a story, like giving you a name, and they're like just running with it basically. But yeah, people like, you know, sensing your energy, sensing your aura. Like you remind me of Nikki DeMar. Like I'll put a picture over here. I freaking love her. Like she's so dope. And she's a Taurus sun, and then a Cancer moon. I think a Libra rising. Yeah, Libra rising, definitely. It makes sense. So with the Gemini like enthusiasm, I do feel like strangers feel like you got a lot of enthusiasm about you. You seem like a really happy person. But you know, at the same time, you seem really stressed all the time. I feel like when you're having a good time, when you're drinking, when you're letting go, like if someone were to see you in a more informal setting, like at a bar, or maybe even reading your favorite book or something, okay, no, in a bar, I feel like they would see you kind of letting loose, being happy. But if they were to see you in a library, whatever, you know, reading your favorite book, like you would be concerned, you'd be tense. If you were at work, you'd also be concerned, tense. Like I just feel like you're very expressive, and people like that enthusiasm. They like seeing your facial expression. And guys, another airplane, like I can't even. Okay, I swear I don't even stay close to an airport. But anyways, so yeah, people like kind of seeing your expressions on your face. And then when it says look at me, walk me to my door, it's kind of like you demand respect from people. So I do kind of feel like yeah, people thought that you were maybe a bit like stuck up, a bit like prissy, kind of like look at me, I'm so pretty or whatever. Or just like, excuse me, can you open my door for me please? Like open my door, walk me to my car. Aren't you gonna be a gentleman? Okay, I'm not reinforcing any gender norms or stereotypes, guys, by any means. Okay, we're getting rid of those. I'm just getting the vibe where it's like people think you're kind of prissy. They think kind of like you're someone that's like, excuse me, you know, open my door for me, pay for my meal, like that type of energy. Again, with the dates card, they just feel like you seem a bit like high maintenance, basically. And then with the Three of Pentacles, that just talks about you know, being someone that's really stressed out easily, someone that needs to let loose, and someone that just needs to yeah, let loose. Like I just feel like this is uptight energy about you, but they know that that isn't all to you. Like I just feel like when people meet you for the first time, like you could be doing whatever, wearing whatever, you know, in whatever environment. It's kind of like people can see through that like facade where it's like you're acting like you're all innocent, but it's like you're really not, you know what I mean? Like I'm definitely getting some like Virgo energy, like 1000%. Like even Geminis, like I know Geminis are known to like be two-faced and everything, but like it's true, like not in a bad way, just in like a bruv, they got different personalities. Like oh, they're dope, bro, they really are. Taurus as well, like Taurus and Gemini and Leos, like all of them, all the zodiac signs. And yeah, with the moon card, this does talk about, you know, lying, being deceitful, hidden emotions coming to the surface as well, and keeping things to yourself. So I do feel like strangers kind of felt like you were holding back, like you weren't really being honest about who you were, like you lied about your age, your name, where you came from maybe, or you were masking something about yourself, maybe your accent, well, like I said, just where you came from. And then with the Page of Wands, it's kind of like I'm seeing something about you trying to make yourself look unattractive for some reason, but you're doing it on purpose. Like I'm seeing strangers thinking like, oh wow, like you're so attractive, like why did you, okay, that sounds so mean, like people wondering maybe like why did you cut your hair, or why did you wear this, why are you wearing those shoes, like you're so attractive, like you should be wearing something else. But that's just a side thing though. Or like if you're wearing like a hat like that, I can see people like saying like why are you wearing a hat, or like if you're wearing sunglasses, kind of like why are you wearing sunglasses, like bro, like what are you doing? Like I just feel like people are trying to pick apart, like they're just questioning everything that you're basically doing because they don't know you. So yeah, that is what I got for pile number 6. I really hope the video resonated. I love you loads, and I'll see you in the next one.